This is Reframe, the podcast from the College of Education, Health, and Society on the campus of Miami University. Over the last few years, classroom dynamics have fundamentally changed, and so has the face of a diversified student population that, in many ways, may respond better to educational approaches that are very different from those that have been used in the past. So today we're talking to Dr. Michelle Kozma, a clinical faculty member in the Department of Teacher Education, about how teachers can hope to succeed in such a rapidly evolving environment. So Dr. Kozma, can we talk a bit about how your work helps to advance the EHS vision, which is to be an innovative leader, transforming the lives of those it serves through a holistic approach that does reflect a changing global society?
So I would say that creating leaders among teachers is very, very important in what I do. So a lot of this, we have to change the way that education is being taught, and also the way at higher ed and in PK-12 schools. And I think that my role and what I've been doing in my classes is allowing teachers not only to see the changes that need to be made, but giving them specific tools and resources that allow them to make those changes.
Okay.
I think too often we say find things that need to be changed, or be a change agent, or lead the charge when you see something that's not going, but we don't always tell them how to do that.
Okay.
So I think that the how is the piece that I have really been focusing on when I'm interacting with my students.
And so what do you think are some of the biggest challenges facing teachers and or educational leaders today, and how do you think these challenges could, possibly be overcome?
We have such a different, the population in our public schools continues to change, and we can't, I think it's my job to allow teachers opportunities to see different teaching styles, different learning styles, different cultures, different backgrounds, and to understand how they can address the needs of the students that they may have, and more importantly, the students that they will have, that we haven't even considered.
Sure. Well, one of the things I've always wondered and thought about, it seems like a couple of generations ago, students could have learned directly from the experience of their parents and their teachers from that era, and their grandparents even. But now it seems like, just for example, my experience as, mid-30s, my experience is no longer relatable to a college student, let alone a high school student, or, certainly not an elementary school student. So how can teachers, ever hope to possibly even keep up with the pace of change and then stay relevant to, new and younger students?
I think that we have to continue our professional growth, especially in higher ed, to understand that, we can't just stay in our, silo of our department or in our specialty in our research. We have to continue to learn about others and learn about how they're learning. One example of that, I talked about the faculty learning community that I was with Agile. I'm actually co-facilitating a faculty learning community this year, and it's all about millennials and Generation Z, and we are focusing on how different perspectives in different generations have changed and are continuing to change. And it is exactly what you said. We talk about baby boomers, and there was a huge amount, there were a lot of years that are considered a baby boomer, but then you start getting up into millennials and Gen Z, and it's changing every 10 years, or something. It's drastically changing in the perspective, and what students are experiencing is changing. So I would say that we have to continue to remember as educators that we can't keep doing the same thing over and over. We need to reach out. We need to start compromising, that's a bad word, but compromising with our students in a sense of, I want to teach you this, and I know you need to learn it this way, or you like to learn it that way, and let's kind of meet in the middle, instead of the typical, nope, we've always done a lecture, this is what we're going to do. We can't do that anymore.
That does seem to be a big focus, right? That people are trying to get away from that classical system that does not seem to be as effective anymore.
Correct.
But what else is next? How else do you hope this discipline will evolve, or what do you think is ahead for educational leaders and teachers?
I think we need to become more student-centered. And that doesn't mean giving students everything that they want,
Sure.
but to consider themselves as learners and to challenge them with the way that they want to think. I think that has been a problem, and it kind of goes back to the, this is the way I learned, this is the way I've been taught, this is the classical method, just like I was saying before. But we do have a different group of students at all of the different age levels, and I think we're not addressing that. So to be more student-centered and to continue our professional growth, I think will help with the diversity of the groups that are coming in.
And to quickly follow up on that, what does that mean to become more student-centric? Like, what is the opposite? Or what is it today? Is it more teacher-centric?
Yes. And I would say that with the push in assessments and the push in standards in PK-12, like, you are constantly, like, driving everything based on, the state or national initiatives and things like that. And so we need to do that. But we also need to remember that there's real people on the other end, and we need to focus the learning on those individual students. I've been in many schools, and even at the university level, where the students become a number. It's, oh, we have 5 students that are below level, let's put them in the A group, and they're going to be here. And it's like, but they have names. And there's a reason that they're there. And we need to dig into that reason instead of just saying they scored this on the test, they're a 49, we need them to be a 50. We need to be considering, kind of the holistic approach, I guess, would be a better way.